So let's talk about the elephant in the room, 8x10 photography. Why on earth have I gone down the 8x10 route? Good question. So first and foremost, this format is this, the size of the negative that it produces. It's huge. The detail is unbelievable. I've seen 8x10 negatives and transparencies on a light box before, and they are just unbelievable. The detail is just sort of exquisite. So yeah, why have I gone down this route? Well, I've wanted to shoot this format for many years, and by chance this came across. This camera was gifted, and it's a bit of a project. And like I say, it is expensive. Film is crazily expensive, so running the camera is going to be quite expensive. It's not going to be an everyday camera. It's not going to be once a week camera. It's going to be a camera that I take out occasionally just to shoot specific projects. I am planning to shoot black and white mainly, but also I will shoot some colour, probably colour negative. Getting the film processed is, in the UK, there's only a handful of people that actually process 8x10. So I'll be processing black and white myself. And later on, when I get a darkroom set up, I might go down the colour negative route. But transparency film, I'm going to still have to source out to the handful of people that do it in this country at the moment. And again, like I say, it's very expensive to get done, so it's going to be few and far between, but I am going to really enjoy shooting this format. I will carry on shooting 4x5 as well, and with my 6x6 Bronica. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting stuck in with this camera. Should be fun. So this is part 3 of my little restoration project on this old Wisner 8x10. Now, today's jobs, first and foremost, I'm going to oil these tracks. So basically we've got 2 tracks, they're geared tracks along the top here for the rear standard, and then underneath you've basically got tracks underneath as well for the front standard. There's also tracks on the front element, or the front standard, which these tracks are for the tilt, forward tilt. It's a geared tilt, which is quite interesting. And also there's rear tilt on the rear standard, and those are geared as well. So all these little tracks I'm going to oil. Now I've got some of this stuff, which is it's actually a bike lubricant. It's a dry lubricant. It's a dry oil. Basically I'm going to use some cotton buds to apply it. I don't want to put too much on, basically, and then I'm just going to let it dry naturally. Obviously make sure everything's nice and lubricated. So that's my first little job today. Now I've got a leather strap on the top. Now I did clean it up in my last video, but it has some splits around where the D-rings are, where it's actually attached to the D-rings. Now I'm a little bit concerned once this is fully up and running and got a lens on the front and everything, and I'm sort of heaving it in and out of a bag. I'm afraid this strap isn't going to sort of take the weight, or not for much longer. So I've been in touch with a local leather worker, waiting for him to come back to me at the moment with prices and whether he can do it. So I'm basically going to have to take this off, including these blocks. Now it's attached underneath the rear standard here, which you can access the screws to take these blocks off and take the whole thing off, and then I'll send it to him, or take it to him as a whole piece. Get him to probably replace these D-rings as well, because they're quite heavily tarnished. And I'm also going to strip off these brass fittings on the top, little plates, a couple of little tabs here which connect to the camera once it closes up, and these 2 on the rear, which are for the film back, to secure the film back. Now I've got this stuff, which is Brasso. I've used this before on brass. Now, having researched this camera, the brass work on this is apparently lacquered, so I need to be really careful with this because it can be abrasive. This stuff is on like a swab, so it's not actually the liquid form that you can get, which is a little bit more abrasive. This stuff is a little bit gentler, so we should be okay. Again, I'm not going to go crazy on this. I'm just going to get rid of the dirt mainly. And there are going to be marks on it, sort of that it's got with age, basically over the years. So I'm happy to kind of keep that. It adds a bit of character. The rest of the brass work on the camera is pretty good. It's I've cleaned most of it, and it's come up really nice. There's a few adjustments that I've made as well. I've had to adjust the rear swing mechanism on the rear standard. That was seized up on one side, so it's got a little washer underneath where basically it gripped and wouldn't sort of release, so I've had to release the screw slightly just to get that working. So that's all working now. But yeah, so let's get started. So as you can see, the lubrication has worked. This was quite stiff before, but that's going to make life a lot easier. The rear standard as well. So a little bit of a squeak there, but I'm sure that'll go. And then we've got the the front tilt mechanism. And then last but not least, the rear tilt, nicely lubricated. And I've also got the swing working. There's two little catches underneath which you loosen off, and then basically you can swing the rear standard. It's a bit wobbly at the moment because I've only got it on my temporary tripod. I've got a bigger plate for this camera coming, so that works nicely now. Again, with swing, I'm not going to use that much, I wouldn't have thought so, but it's freed that up nicely. Just put them back to secure that. So I'm going to take this strap off the top. I'm going to make sure I've got the right size bit. There's a flathead screws everywhere on this camera. There are also brass screws, which from experience, they're very soft. So that's not too bad, that's coming out okay. That's one. There we go. That's the strap off. And also under here are the screws for the actual catch when you close the camera up. Now, these have got bolts on the top, but they feel like they're only pinch tight. And this little plate on top, I'm not sure what this actually is for. There's no writing or anything on it. I'm going to use got a screwdriver kit here with some like watch type screwdrivers, because some of these screws are quite thin. And like I say, because they're so soft, I don't want to damage them. There we go. Ooh. Ah. Now that's interesting. If you can see that there. Joseph M. So maybe this was custom built for a Joseph M, with what looks like a serial number underneath. Now I might actually flip this around because that's a nice little bit of history. And last but not least is these are the catches for the film back. And they've got these screws, these little plastic washers underneath, which allow the catch to operate, but they are a little bit stiff. You can see there's a little bit of tarnish in there. This one's the worst one on the other side, so I'm going to take them apart once these parts are off. Let's get these off. I've got a dab of neat Murphy's oil just to clean this top off because it's pretty grimy. Again, I don't want to go mad, but it's quite stubborn. Just dab a few bits on, just let it settle there for a bit. Well, that was quite a fiddle doing that, but pretty pleased with the results. There's a little bit of tarnishing on some of the brass work, which is fine. I say it adds a little bit of character. And finding that nameplate was just brilliant. I'm really pleased with that. It's added a little bit more character still. So I'm going to try and track this guy down and see if he still exists. But it would be fascinating to try and find out the history of this. So the strap is going to go in, and hopefully I'll put this in another video, get a new strap. And my next video as well will hopefully be to start to restore this film back. So I'm going to take the ground glass out. Basically there's a little bit of wood damage on the top there, which I'm hoping to fix. Just generally take it apart, clean it up, make sure again it's lubricated on the springs, so it's nice and easy for the film holders to go in. And then that's the last stage. I'll then put it all back together, and then we'll be film testing. So it should be interesting. I hope you're enjoying these. Please let me know your thoughts and comments. Any sort of little tips and stuff, again, that would be really handy. But yeah, it's going really well. So hopefully I shall see you on the next one.